Well, well, well. Now we're getting the real story. Okay. I know I'm chiming in a little bit late, but of course I wanted to see a lot of the stories that were coming out so I could have a lot of the actual factuals, if you will, according to the people that were there in McKinney, Texas during this whole little situation. Now, I'm going to start off by saying, don't come to this mofo leaving all crazy ass comments where you don't know this, but look, let me tell you something. Okay, this is my opinion on my channel. If you have an opinion, feel free to upload a video, as several hundred of people have done regarding this situation. Practice your freedom of speech by uploading a video, if you will, if you have such a strong opinion on this subject as well. Okay, I do encourage you to do that if you are so prone to have such a very, very strong opinion on this subject. And once you do that, what I do encourage you to do, if you have such a strong opinion on the subject, if we have differences of opinions, feel free to tag me in the video and I will watch it, but make a video. Okay, now we're going to move on swiftly and professionally around this piece. So if you guys do not know, there was an incident that happened in McKinney, Texas, regarding a situation where some police officers, quote unquote, crashed a pool party that was attended by several teenagers, most of which were African-American teenagers. Some were white teenagers as well. There was a phone call that was dispatched to the police department stating that there was a disturbance going on at the pool. Okay. There was a disturbance going on at the pool and they needed some assistance from the police officers. Come to find out, one of the residents of the neighborhood, which was a white woman, decided to confront one of the young girls at this pool party, basically telling them, you guys need to go back to the Section 8, go to the Section 8 pool, you don't belong here. Basically doing everything but calling them some straight up niggers, pretty much, if we're going to be brutally honest on this here particular post. So they got into some sort of altercation. The police were called. And when I tell you guys, like I mentioned on a video that I did on my other channel, I don't know which channel I'm going to put this on, but anyway, one of the police officers was a vigilante. This Negro, well, of course he wasn't a Negro, but y'all get what I'm goddamn saying. This fool doing flips, backflips, and everything else like he was in an episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm talking about this fool tripped up, did a triple-double flip, and then goddamn jumped up and started running like he was running after some damn bank robbers or something. Now, mind you, these are 13, 14, and 15-year-old children who were in a community pool. If you guys don't understand what community pool means, it means, when you have a pool and it's for the people who live in the community. A lot of times when you have teenagers, especially by it being the summertime, it happens here in my apartment complex. When you have teenagers who live in an apartment complex, you got them sometimes, they're only supposed to have one or two guests, but a lot of times you get them, they'll call all their friends or be like, y'all just come over and get in the pool. Granted, they're not supposed to. And if they're asked to leave, they're supposed to leave. But we need to keep in mind that these are teenagers, harmless teenagers. Okay. So of course the police are coming. Not only are they using, this police officer in particular is using excessive force. He is cursing these children out like they are animals. Like they are disgusting animals. Get the fuck out of here. I told you to get your ass out of here. And the part of the video that really even disgusted me even more. Of course, when this all first came out, we didn't know the identity of the person behind the camera. If you guys haven't watched that video, if you notice, the police officer was asking all of the black kids, get down, sit down. I told you, you're a part of this mob. Mind you, the boy behind the camera was a white male. His name was Brandon something. Stokes or something like that. Brandon something. But he was one of the kids who was a part of this, whole little situation. But he just so happened to be a white male, and he had one of his white friends that was with him. Police officers never said anything to these two teenagers. They even made a video saying how they noticed how the police officers were forcing their black friends to get down, but for some odd reason, they seemed to skip over me. Because I'm white. Now, if you guys didn't notice, also in that video, there was a big, fat, sloppy ass white dude who was there with the cops. Of course, he's not a police officer. He's probably one of the people who called and told the cops, look, we got a bunch of niggas over here in our swimming pool. We need y'all to come regulate, shut this motherfucking shit down, okay? So, of course, he got his big nasty ass there in the middle of this whole thing. While the police officers are cursing the teenagers out, telling them to leave and get out of the way, please explain to me why he was letting this fat, nasty slob continue to stand in the middle of police business while he was trying to gain some sort of control. Now, the thing that I'm really about to get on is the fact that there were two teenage boys. I'm about to get on the young girl in a second. But there were two teenage boys who were sitting down on the sidewalk with handcuffs behind their backs. The boys continued to tell, over and over, they said to the police officer, sir, we just got here. We don't know what's going on. We had nothing to do with this. The man said, shut up. You were a part of this mob. You were running. What it was, the teenagers, they probably saw the cops coming up. Naturally, they're going to take off fucking running. I mean, I just got here. I don't know if you ever heard of the saying, we run first and we ask questions later. Okay, granted, I might not see a motherfucker chasing you with a gun. But if we together and you start running, I'm finna start running too. Okay, because I don't know what's about to pop off. It could be anything. It could be a damn bear chasing you or something. I'm going to run too if I don't know what the hell is going on, okay? So he basically tells them to shut up. You were a part of this mob, so you're going to sit there. So now you're in trouble. And they just sitting there like, oh my fucking God. So then we move on to the 14-year-old girl. He's telling them, get the fuck out of here. I mean, just cursing them like they are some animals. And of course, the girl, I guess because the situation was so freaking crazy how they were going off on these teenagers who were teenagers in a pool, quote unquote, causing a disturbance. Of course, they were probably a little bit loud or whatever, but we all know the real reason why the police officers were there and wrecking shop up in here because they were black in a white pool. We just gonna tell the truth. They was black in a white pool. I don't care which way you want to turn the book. They was black in a white pool. So, of course, she's basically, being a little bit mouthy, but there is no law against talking. I can talk all I want. So, I guess he decides he wants to get pissed off because the little black girl is running her mouth. So, he proceeds to grab this 14-year-old child, okay, who is half naked, mind you, who all she had on was a two-piece bikini, and she had a towel, okay, a half naked 14-year-old child who weighed every bit of probably 80, 90 pounds at the most. This big, fat, nasty motherfucker decided he wants to grab this 90-year-old child and slam her to the ground and proceed to put both, not one, but both of his fucking knees in her back. Both of his knees in her back and tell her to put her face to the ground. Now, mind you, this is a 14-year-old child who was damn near half naked. Okay? So you mean to tell me, Mr. Fat Ass Police Officer, that you were so fucking pathetic and to the point where you didn't know how to do your job properly. You didn't know how to handle this type of situation properly to the point where you had to literally put a 90-pound child who was half naked on the ground and put both of your knees in her back. And he was telling her, well, if you don't, she was saying, you were hurting me. I don't know if you guys watched it. She was like, you're hurting me. So when he did that, naturally, which was wrong, I do not condone them doing this because this is one of the main ways to get yourself hurt. There was two of her friends who were black, who were males. They tried to run to her aid. And as they did that, now mind you, these are also two teenage boys who have on swim trunks and a t-shirt. They ran to her aid, but I guess before thinking about it, I guess it was a natural reaction for them to try to run to her aid. And this police officer proceeds to grab his gun and pull it out of his holster and point it at the children. Now, there was a catch to that. He had 2 police officer partners who, as they saw him reaching for his gun, they ran and grabbed his arm as to basically tell him, look, you about to make a horrible fucking mistake. Put that shit back in your fucking holster. You see all the shit that's going on in the news? We don't want to be a part of this situation. We don't want to be accessories to this motherfucking shit that you are about to commit. So naturally, they grabbed basically his arm, and he kind of snatched away from them as to basically, you know, I wanted to kill me 2 motherfuckers. Okay, that's basically the reaction that I was getting from him. My thing is this: you were that fucking heated from teenagers to the point where you had to grab your gun and point it at 2 of these teenage boys, and naturally they took off to running. Okay, because I guess they see shit, motherfucker. We see the shit that's going on in the news, so naturally we finna break out the running, which that was the wrong thing to do. But like I said, they took off running, and he sent 2 of his partners to get them. And I guess they were running so fast or whatever. When they came back to the scene, he had the boys and they were in handcuffs. And they were out of breath and all that shit. At first, I was thinking to myself, I hope that dude did not whoop their ass off camera. Okay. Now, mind you, this whole time, they have the black kids. They're cursing the black kids out, telling them to leave. When they have the 2 white kids that are standing over here, one is recording and the other one is standing next to him. Never once telling these kids to leave. So I guess they automatically assume your black ass don't live here, which there were black kids that were at this pool party who did live in that neighborhood, mind you. But like I said, and I know a lot of people are like, well, that's assumptions. A lie. The black girl who was who the police officer put his knees in her back, she spoke out. One of the other girls who was a part of this pool party, she spoke out and said the reason why the police came was because a white woman came and decided that she wanted to tell them to go and get in the Section 8 pool. And they were basically telling them, you don't belong here, so you need to leave. We all know what the fuck that means, okay? And the police officers come, and I guess they automatically assume we need to get the niggas out of this fucking neighborhood, and we just gonna ignore the little white kid standing over here. The boy that was recording the video made a video himself saying that they were telling my black friends to get down, but for whatever reason they seem to just skip over me and ignore me. You want to know why? Because you're not melanated. You don't have any of this in your skin. Therefore, you are a little bit more privileged than we are. Some people might not like the shit that I'm saying, but I'm telling the fucking truth. And for those people that love to holler, well, when are we going to start talking about black on black crime? This ain't got shit to do with black on black crime. Yes, black on black crime is a problem. But what I need people to stop doing is stop trying to revert to, well, we need to start protesting against black on black crime. I get it, okay? I get it. But when you have police officers out here who are supposed to uphold the law, who are around here doing shit like this, people who we are supposed to trust, people who we are supposed to call when we are in times of trouble and despair, these are the people who are hurting us. Have you heard, there are several stories that are floating around. It's not just with black people, but there are a lot of stories that are floating around where people have called police officers to help them out on things, and the police officers ended up killing them. I don't know if you heard about the story where the lady called the police officers to help her with her disabled son. I think he had autism or I forgot exactly what he had, but I know he was having some type of problem. He wasn't taking his medication, and she basically wanted someone to just help her get him to take his medication. The police officers came, even though the lady explained to them that he had a mental problem, and that was the reason why she called to get assistance with helping him take his medication. The police officers ended up shooting and killing this man, even though his mother called just to get them to help in the situation. You get police officers that are out here who are shooting people who they could clearly, my thing, shooting to kill people. I understand that they say if you're going to pull out your gun, your goal should be to kill whatever you're pulling out your gun for. But what police officers need to understand, you have many other avenues to diffuse a situation rather than pulling out a weapon, like this police officer did when these teenagers were trying to help this girl, even though, like I said, I'm not condoning what they did, because what they did was very dangerous and they could have gotten hurt seriously. Okay? But for him to pull out his gun on these teenagers. But shout out to them police officers that was with him that grabbed his ass and like, nigga, this is not some shit that you want to do. Because we are not trying to be no national shit, even though they are already national news, of course. And let me tell you what happened to this police officer. He has been suspended. Fucking suspended. No, you need to be fucking fired. You need to be fired. Fuck being suspended. No, that's the problem. That is the fucking problem. If there was no outrage, this nigga would still be on the fucking force. And just imagine, to the people who are the naysayers who, well, they should have complied, they should have did what he told them to do. Let me ask you a question. What if that was your fucking child that he had on the ground with his knees in her back for being black, basically, for talking? 14 years old, half fucking naked. She was no threat to him. Half fucking naked that you had. And she even said that he pulled her braids. He was pulling her braids while he had her on the ground. And he just got suspended. Now, there have also been rumors, and let me try to look some of this up. They said that there have been rumors regarding McKinney, Texas. They said they have a lot of complaints regarding racism and all these different types of things in McKinney, Texas, that have been going on for a while. So let me look up this right quick. McKinney, Texas. Racism. All I'm going to type in is racism. All I'm going to type in is racism. Okay. It says, Texas pool party chaos. What role did race play? Of course, CNN and Fox News, of course, they're gonna, they're gonna try to make the shit better than it is. And hold on, let me get on this bitch. What is her fucking name? She gets on CNN late at night. I cannot stand that fucking heifer. I'm gonna tell y'all her name right now. When I tell you, I want to, ooh, girl. Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly of Fox News is the dumbest bitch on this side of motherfucking creation. I cannot stand that heifer. I cannot stand her motherfucking ass. And yes, I'm going in on this goddamn video and I don't give a fuck. Boo. Okay, Megyn Kelly, this is the same bitch that during the Baltimore riots got on there and was basically calling the mother who was disciplining her child, saying that she was being violent. I don't know if this bitch do this shit for attention or what. But no, she don't do it for attention. They do interviews with these motherfuckers that want to see how racist they are. That's how they determine whether or not you're going to get the motherfucking job on Fox News and on CNN. Because they want to know who, okay, we need to know who going to get this motherfucking job. So what we gonna do, we need to sit you down and do an interview, and we want to know how you feel about niggas. Fuck everything else on your resume. We want to know your thoughts on niggas. Okay? If your thoughts on niggas is that you hate them, you feel like they the scum of the earth, if you feel like they are a disgrace to America, what we need to do, we need to hire you. We need to get you on our payroll. So this bitch, Megyn Kelly, I cannot stand her. Like I said, she is the same one from the Baltimore riots that had so much to say about the black mother who decided to go out there and get her son from this horrible situation out there, looting and throwing rocks and shit at the cops. She decided to go get her fucking child. And Megyn Kelly had to make a mockery of that, like it was something so horrible and heinous to do. So she's sitting her stupid ass up on CNN, basically saying, hold on. She says the teen girl, she's no saint. Basically defending this cop for what the fuck he did. Lord, like I tell you, I know people are going in on her ass right now on Twitter. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go in, to follow her on Twitter and go in on her. That's not what I'm telling you to do. All I'm saying is the bitch got a Twitter. if you want to voice your opinion to her. I don't know if she run the shit herself, but if you feel like you got some shit that you want to say to her, she does have a Twitter account. So just Google her fucking name and put Twitter next to it, and you will find her Twitter handle. That's all I'm gonna say right there, girl. Let her know how the fuck you feel. But then we're gonna move on swiftly and professionally. So to the McKinney Police Department. Let me just say this, because I want to close this fucking video, because I don't want to keep going on and on and on about this situation. Because I know this is not going to be the first. Well, of course I know this is not the first, and it's definitely not going to be the last time that we see this type of foolishness and fuckery that has to do with the police officers. And the shit is happening more often now than ever, seems like. Well, it's being brought to light more. People are being able to see the corruption in the police department now. What's that dude named? The Dorner dude from California, the one that, you know, decided that he wanted to go on a killing spree and kill cops. And the one that ended up getting burned up in the fucking log cabin, wherever he was. You know, of course, he said he was going to expose some police officers, and he did. And where is he at? He's dead as hell. Okay? Burned his ass to a fucking crisp. Wasn't nothing left. No bones, no nothing. They burned his ass to a fucking crisp. Didn't even try to put the fire out. They let that shit burn into this nigga. Every trace of this nigga was gone. Every trace. So to the McKinney Police Department, unless you fire this cop, boo, because I'm pretty sure the people in McKinney, especially the black people, maybe the white people feel comfortable with this nigga around here patrolling, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with you around here patrolling my motherfucking community, boo. Okay, because you are a racist, a motherfucker. Well, I'm not even gonna say you're racist, because I don't know you like that, but what I can say is you are a fucking villain who takes your motherfucking position a little bit too fucking seriously. And if you are that much of a fucking coward to where you can't get some teenagers under control, some teenagers who were fucking at a pool party, who were damn near half naked from getting out of a fucking pool. If you feel like you couldn't handle that situation much better than you did, you need to be fired. You need a new fucking occupation. And Megyn Kelly, go to hell.